Alright, so here's a typical booktube title for you. Overabundance of buddy reads! That's what August is about. I think I have one book on my list that does not involve buddy reads. So, come one, come all to the overwhelming list. Welcome back. Welcome for the first time. This is the Ponderings of Pete. And I'm Pete, obviously, hopefully. I could be Jack, but I'm probably Pete. It's likely. I'm reading books in August, obviously, and all but one of them are buddy reads, and yeah, let's just talk about them. Yeah. So, first one, continuing from last month, Dragons of Winter Night. This is buddy read with a bunch of people we call the Crane Crew, and we're doing live shows. I believe the live show for this one is going to be on the 14th. This is Dungeons and Dragons. This is the Dragonlance setting. And I'm actually reading two of them this month, which is Dragons of Spring Dawning. But I'm finishing this one. I'm about halfway done currently. Really typical, really campy fantasy. The writing style in Winter Night has improved dramatically, as I said in my last video. Check that out. So I'm excited to get to this one. These are nice kind of palate cleanser books because don't expect too much out of these, basically. I'm not expecting too much. Trying to turn off the analytical side and being like, this is dirt now. Just enjoy it for what it is. So yeah, these are buddy reads. We're doing a live show. Check that out. I'll link the Autumn Twilight live show, which was a lot of people, and there will be less people for this next live show, but we'll still be here. I don't know the list off the top of my head because I'm terrible at remembering lists in my head. Next one. I committed to this like ages ago, and then I forgot about it until I looked at my August TBR, and I'm like, oh, cool. Let's do it. Scythe. I bought the first one. I've heard some decent things about this. It's a YA, which is outside my typical range. But I'm going to read it. Might continue on with the trilogy. We'll see. Buddy reading this with She Was Only Evie. Because we all have problems with buddy reads. She's also reading She'll also be in the Dragons of Winter Night live show. She's reading that too. Check this out. I think we're doing it on her Discord, I'm pretty sure. Could be wrong. I'll check it. If I'm wrong, her Discord is still linked down below. Also, I forgot. What do I know about this? There's something to do with death, and death being commoditized, I think, or being something. We're following a Grim Reaper, essentially, as far as I know, or an apprentice Grim Reaper. That's about all I know. Interesting concept. We'll see. Next up is another buddy read, but this one is with Alan from the Library of Alexandria. That is The Empire of Black and Gold. August of the Apt. So, we're reading the first 4 books of Shadow of the Apt series. It's a 10-book series by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This is actually my first Tchaikovsky book. And actually I read it, because this is my book that I kind of started the month with, because I wanted to start reading it, because I was interested. Stop talking so fast. I like this book. I'll talk more about it in my wrap-up. But scratched a similar itch to the Long Price Quartet, in my opinion. But this is more action-packed than the Long Price Quartet, which has next to zero actual action. So this book moves faster. Not in the writing sense, but it just in the, or even in the plot sense. It just everything physically moves. There's assassination attempts and a bunch of other things. But this takes place in a fantasy world where you have humans, and some of them evolve slightly, and there's different types of magic that aren't considered magic, because there's ancestor art, because essentially humans, I think worship is the wrong word, kind of evolved a little bit to crap. So instead of having like black and white people, we have moth people and beetle people and ant people, or kindin as they're called. They're just ant kindin, beetle kindin, moth kindin, wasp kindin. And that slightly changes the physiology of some people, but they're basically all still humans. But they also have ancestor arts, which like some people, like the moth kindin and the dragonfly kindin and the wasp kindin, can all sprout wings with their ancestor art. But they're like magic wings, but they don't consider them magic, because magic is a completely separate thing, evidently. But it's interesting. I really like the world that he's building, and he did really well with his world building, in my opinion. This isn't a review, but check this out. The Wasp Empire is trying to take over other people, and this is kind of your spy novel a little bit around that. So I really like this. I like the vibe. Check it out. And I'm definitely going to be continuing with the other 9, in my opinion. I'll probably keep continuing it after Alan's server drops it at book 4. Next one. Speaking of Long Price Quartet, voila! I'm going to be reading an Autumn War this month. There is a buddy read on Shelf Space that should be set up. Check it out. Book 3. I might skip ahead to Spring to Price of Spring because I heard they're just both really good. So I might. We'll see. Check these out. Really good. Political fantasy. Almost no actual action. But I'm saying that in a good way. Not a bad way. Everything's focused on the political stuff and the economic stuff. And it's really awesome. So check out all the live shows we're doing. Did one for Shadow and Summer. We're doing one for Betrayal in Winter. We'll do one for the other 2 as well. And by we, I mean me, and then there's some others. Alan, and a bunch of other people. Kate at the Almost Book Doctor. Klaus. I'll do some more announcements about that, hopefully. So, what's next? Long Price Quartet, and then we have Fred! We have more Fred. This one's called Undeath and Taxes. Because 2 things in life are certain. Death and taxes. Undeath and taxes. Get it? I'm excited to continue. I think this is like a 7-book series, so you'll see a lot of this over the next few months. Go read these books. Fred the Vampire Accountant, Drew Hayes. They're self-published. They're awesome. Totally go read them. Really funny, comedic. Found family. Reads like a bunch of short stories in this guy's life. Memoir style. Next up, Senlin. Sens. Haha. So, this is the second time this has been on my TBR. And I do really want to read this. I don't know if I'll get it to it this month. We'll see. Another buddy read on several different servers, including Michael Nip, Library of Alexandria, I think Shelf Space. I could be wrong. But yeah, so this is a book I've been meaning to get to because I've heard great things about this series. So it's here, and it's waiting to be read. I don't really know what to expect other than a school teacher goes to the Tower of Babel and chaos ensues. He loses his wife, and he has to find her. That's about all I know. Next up, self-published book. I'm reading this for Shelf Space. We're doing a buddy read of this over on Shelf Space. And that is The Rave by J.R. Tross. So this was recommended by Leslie at The Nerdy Narrative. This is interesting. This is one I've also started reading. I'm reading this one in Dragons of Winternight currently. First of all, there is no rave. We're not talking about a dance party here. We're talking about the rave as in a hunt. Didn't know that was a definition for a rave, but I guess it is now because fantasy. This is kind of feels sci-fantasy because there's a lot of tech in here. Honestly, feels a bit cyberpunk with magic. Magipunk? I think magipunk is a term. One of the cool things about this is you have the elf, AELF, which are kind of magical creatures of the night, whether it's magical creatures of the night or whatever, that roam, and then you have people and technology, and people still don't believe that they exist. And yet there's an entire industry of people called elf ravers, which is basically monster hunters, that go after these people with spells and all this other jazz, which is really, really cool. This fascinating world. Yes, this is a city in the sky, by the way. Not entirely sure how it's held up in the sky, but those chains kind of keep it there and from floating off. And yeah, he uses technology in a very interesting way as well. Definitely the city kind of reminds me a little bit of Capital City from Hunger Games to a certain extent. It's just that ostentatious. But with less of the blatant, well, slightly seedier version of Capital City from the Hunger Games. So, and it's also in the air on Janes and all that jazz. Same condescension, though, from people from the capital to all the districts as from people to Terrys. That's a funny term for other reasons. Check this out. self-published. Looking forward to finish this. Very last one. As always, because Communist Cousin last, a good Communist Manifesto. This is me balancing things. This is me continuing this. There will be a live show later this month that I will promote other ways as well. So, check it out. I have a lot of live shows this month. I just realized that. We're going to talk about this. I have thoughts about communism. I have theories about it that we'll see if they are held true through the reading of the actual manifesto. So yeah, that's what I'm reading this month. Will I get to all of it? Undoubtedly not. I don't expect to, honestly. I want to, but I won't. Probably won't. Check back in at the August wrap-up. I got a few reviews coming out later that I'm going to be editing today, and then I have another discussion with... I have a discussion with an author friend of mine that's also going to be coming out soon. Got to edit that. So thanks for watching. As always, there's links down below for affiliate links for all of these books. If it's not an affiliate link, aka it's an Amazon link, because I don't take affiliate links from Amazon because I won't. Don't like Amazon, just FYI, if you didn't know. So if it's bookshop.org, it's an affiliate link. If it's not, then it's not an affiliate link. Affiliate link means I get a small price, a small commission off of if you buy. So check out the books. Thanks for watching. Get some rest.